Hey everyone, this is Coffee Chug and I'm back. Today what I want to do in this episode is update my LEGO EV3 tutorial number 8 on a line follow program. One of the comments that was left was talking about at the end of that mission, if you remember, the robot would kind of make a little swivel once it saw another perpendicular black line like you see here in this video. So let me go back and show you a quick little fix, and then in an upcoming episode, I'm going to show you the ultimate line follow program. Yes, another one, but one that I think is the smoothest of all of them, and then I promise I will move on with my obsession with line follow programs. So we're just going to rebuild the program from the tutorial number 8 of the line follow using data wires and data blocks and the loop interrupt. So if you want more explicit instruction on how we created that, please go back to that video because I go through kind of more step by step in terms of what that looks like. But what we'll be doing here is just building in our program again here. And I need to get that inside here. So if you remember, we basically were taking a reading in this particular program from the light sensor, doing the reflected light intensity. For me, it was port 1. You can make it whatever port you want. Taking that number and moving that into a data block, which you see here. You can call it whatever you would like. For me, I'm just calling it coffee because it just makes sense. And I'm actually going to just drag all this up here a little bit so we can see it all. And then we're going to bring in another loop and another data wire here to connect. So we got all these things happening here. We're actually then going to be reading this data block, if you remember, from the previous one. Let me go ahead and read this here. I'm going to add in a math block. I'm going to do some math calculations here. As opposed to add, we're going to be subtracting. This is going to be our variable for A. Now you're going to have to adjust your numbers based on your reading and threshold reading. For me, I have 46 there. You may have to do some different calculations. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this over to A. Then one more. Just going to control our wheel here. So if you remember, basically it's taking this threshold reading or this reflected light intensity reading here in coffee, plugging it into A, subtracting that number from 46, multiplying it by 0.5. You can adjust this. This is going to affect the speed of the robot. Whatever that number is, it's going to pump right in here into your motor A, and that's the speed of that particular motor. And then what we're going to do is the exact same thing, just for your other wheel, or your other motor, excuse me, to get that speed calculation. So we basically just copy all of this. We're just going to make a few subtle changes in here. We're going to move this over. This is my white threshold number that worked out pretty well. And then we got to switch this motor here to B to go the other direction. And then the last is we're going to put in a loop interrupt block down here. So in that video that I showed at the beginning, we had a wait block in here, and we were waiting for reflected light intensity again. But I had this on my other sensor, so I have another light sensor underneath, and our black threshold was 10, And so when it sees that, then I programmed it to do a loop interrupt block right there. Now, if you remember, this worked pretty well. It's nice and smooth and flowed pretty well. But at the very end, the robot had that little pivot turn. So we did some testing and experimenting, and really a real quick fix for this program, for those that are using it, is we just added a motor block, just one wheel. In this case, for me, it's B. I just made this degrees, and at the suggestion there, I kept the speed smooth, and we went 30 degrees. No, I had to go negative for the way my robot's built. And once we did this, it actually swung the robot right back, all nice and lined up, perfectly smooth, ready to go, and be nice and straight. And so just by adding this block right here, once it kicks out of the loop interrupt, we'll get you back on track. So go ahead and check this video out to see how it goes. Alright, so there you have it. Just the update to LEGO Line Follow tutorial number 8. Quick add, a little addition there. If you have any questions or thoughts, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. Thanks to those who contribute and push the challenge and thinking of myself. And leave those ideas because it helps me learn, and I love to share it and help hopefully inspire other people to learn. And together, we're all learning together, and that's what it's all about. That's why we make these videos. Have a great day. Look forward to your questions, comments, and ideas. And until the next episode, be good.